Hey guys, I am curious about something. I'm curious if this sounds like you. Do you ever wonder if choosing to become sourced in the way you run your business, meaning tuning in and allowing spirit to guide your choices in your direction rather than your ego, do you ever wonder if that might cause you to lose your edge? This is something we've been talking about, and it rings so true for me personally in my own journey. And I've seen this come up time and time again with my entrepreneurial clients who are really aware that their old way isn't working, right? The hustle, the working too many hours, the feeling like they have to hold their clients and do it for their clients or perform more or prove their worth, that kind of thing. And they're really feeling called to do it differently. They're really knowing at it, like a deep level, I can work less, I can have more fun, I can play more, and I can kind of hold this whole thing a bit more lightly and still be effective. And that actually doing that, like tuning into myself and my own needs, including my self-care needs, like my nurturing desires, that is actually a pathway to greater freedom and greater abundance in your business. Like, I know so many people are out there thinking this. It's like we know it at some level, right? But then what happens? What happens? The little ego mind, the monkey mind, or those thoughts that are hidden from our view come in and they say, but what if I lose my edge? What if I stop hustling and people see me not hustling and they don't want to hire me anymore because they think I'm not working hard enough for them? What if I stop hustling and all of a sudden I miss an opportunity because my intuition said it's a no, even though my ego would have done it in the past, would have pushed through and made it happen? And what if I miss that big opportunity? And this one is really insidious, right? What if I'm using my connection to source as an excuse to not do enough? What if I'm not showing up? What if I'm not, reaching the people that I need to reach because I'm just plain being lazy, right? Or making excuses. And the real fear is if I allow myself to work from flow, to work from sourced energy, where I'm only a yes if I'm a hell yes, where I'm refusing to show up in scenarios that cause me to go back into my old default energy that doesn't work for me anymore. If I refuse that, right? I refuse the hustle. I refuse the people pleasing. I refuse the overgiving. If I make a choice like that to really honor what my soul desires, what do I have to give up? And if you've ever felt that, you are not alone, and it can still happen to me sometimes, right? I'm just like loving it up, sitting in meditation, tuning into source, asking, what do I most need to know today? And I might have all of these ideas in my mind about, I want to get this YouTube video completed, and I've got to get that opt-in page written. And oh my gosh, if I, showed up at this place, maybe people would see me here or whatever. Can you hear the energy in that? You can hear the energy, right? So my head might be saying all these things, but I'm here, just peacefully asking Source, what do I need today? And I'm thinking Source is going to tell me to go do all these things, right? And Source says, this happened literally, paint the wall in your office. Paint the wall in your office. It's like, but what about all of these things, right? That need to be done. No, paint the wall in your office. And this can drive up some fear, right? Well, that's not the way that I've approached it in the past. And guess what? Painting the wall in the office actually created a sense of flow and creativity and joy and love and connection to my body. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, that's the thing. That's the action I need to take next. It's a little like if you've watched Cobra Kai on Netflix and you're a Karate Kid fan, right? It's like the wax on, wax off, where it doesn't necessarily make sense why this would be the perfect action today. And then eventually it gets revealed why it is the perfect action today. So when we commit to living a sourced life, to continually allowing ourselves to heal and release those old energies that are steeped in fear, that might have us be successful in some definition, but ultimately have us break down, right? When we commit to releasing that and instead operating in a sourced energy that actually nurtures us at a cellular level and lets us show up in such a beautiful way. When we make that commitment, it is not unusual to wonder, will I lose my edge? Will I lose my business? Will I lose clients? Will I lose my team? What if, I'm not like on top of every detail? What might happen? And you might be surprised to discover how the details work themselves out if you can trust and believe your own inner knowing long enough to let it play out. So I would love to know, I'm just curious, how does this show up for you? Where do you know at some level that there's another way to do business that will let you work lighter and feel more free in your magical work, yet the old thought process sneaks in and says, yeah, but we haven't done it that way. Yeah, but am I missing something? And I promise you, I teach this cycle of proving. I promise you that in that moment where you're saying, yeah, but maybe this, you're going to immediately see someone else doing it the way you used to do it. And you're going to think, oh, yeah, I should do that. I should do it that way too, right? You're going to see someone starting a new podcast, creating a telesummit, doing something that you think you should be doing, but Source hasn't told you to do yet, right? Hustling, pushing, staying up late, getting up an hour earlier, posting about their time hacks that help them push through and get more done, right? And your ego says, oh God, I should be doing that too, right? How can I be a successful entrepreneur and not be in that? Yet your soul knows you can. Your soul knows, and your soul, right, is your unique slice of Source energy, and Source lets you know the most divinely aligned and lightest, most elegant path to the outcome you desire. And more often than not, it doesn't require all those things that you think it does. Tell me your experience about this. Comment under the video. If you resonate with this, tell me why. If you've walked this path and come out the other side victorious, leave a comment so others can see that it's truly possible, that it's not just Darla who has embraced this new way of working and maintained a highly successful business. Let me know if you have too. And if you're on the edge and you're struggling with this, you're thinking, I want to lead my business from sourced energy, but I'm not sure if it's going to work for me. I'm not sure about what I'll have to give up. Please reach out. Let us know. Message my team, support@sourcedexperience.com, because we have an exact program for someone who's in that space. So let us know what you're grappling with, what your questions are, what your successes are, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.